Okay, what if the movements of the stars were actually moral laws? Seriously, think about that for a second. We usually look at astronomy as pure science, right? It's just the cold, hard physics of massive objects moving through a vacuum. But what if the exact time a star rises and sets wasn't just a matter of gravity, but a strict ethical commandment? It's a wildly provocative question, and honestly, it acts as the perfect cold open to our cosmic journey today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to This Explainer, where we are unpacking the incredibly dense, absolutely fascinating theology of the ancient Enochic texts. We're drawing specifically from Andrei A. Orlov's profound research on the Book of the Watchers and the Astronomical Book. Today, we're going to explore how the ancients viewed the universe not as some chaotic void, but as a finely tuned moral machine. And as you'll see, understanding this ancient worldview completely flips our modern separation of science and ethics right on its head.
Section 1. The Cosmic Crime. So, to understand how this whole universe gets fixed, we first have to understand how it was broken. Our story starts with a massive, literally universe-breaking crime committed by a group of fallen angels known as the Watchers. These fallen Watchers, you might know figures with names like Azazel and Shemihaza. They acted essentially like rogue cosmic hackers. They basically released dangerous, illicit science into humanity's original source code. They taught early humans metallurgy to make weapons of war and gold ornaments. They taught them about antimony to make eye paint and cosmetics. They introduced the cutting of roots for spells and magic. And they even shared a corrupted form of astronomy and divination. They literally took the pure materials of God's creation and weaponized them. And this brilliantly illustrates the core conflict of the Enochic texts. The Watchers introduced what the texts call worthless mysteries, this absolute poison of illicit magic, weapons, and chaos. In response to all that, the seventh antediluvian patriarch, Enoch, is chosen to gather divine revelations, which are pure measurements and cosmic order. The Watchers brought the poison, and Enoch is about to go find the antidote.
Section 2. Journey to the Source.
Now, to get the antidote to this cosmic crime, Enoch doesn't just sit in a library and read a book. The ancient texts frame his quest as a literal, physical journey into the heavens. To really understand how this works, we have to grasp a concept called epistemological topology. Now, I know that sounds like heavy academic jargon, but it's actually an incredibly cool idea. In the ancient framework, divine knowledge isn't just some abstract concept floating around your mind. Knowledge is a physical place. It's an objective reality up in the heavens. That means, to learn about the weather, Enoch couldn't just study a chart. He literally had to travel to a physical location called the Treasuries of the Winds. Enoch actually travels to these surreal, otherworldly geographies to physically interact with knowledge. He visits a river of fire where fire literally flows down like water. He travels to 7 towering mountains made of precious stones, including one mountain made entirely of antimony and lapis lazuli, which, if you remember, are the very elements the Watchers corrupted. He is literally walking through the archetypal storages of the universe.
Section 3. Healing the Universe.
Now, Enoch hanging out in these bizarre cosmic locations isn't just some weird cosmic tourism. His physical presence there serves as the ultimate neutralizing antidote to the Watcher's crime. Enoch behaves remarkably like a modern systems engineer debugging a server. He's not casting magic spells here. Instead, his healing process is highly methodical. Step 1, beholding the cosmos. Step 2, measuring the phenomena, like counting the gates of the stars and weighing the winds. Step 3, recording the data. The text emphasizes that merely counting the stars and writing down their gates proleptically restores the lost balance of creation. He is mathematically healing the universe. By visiting these archetypal storages, Enoch is ontologically rehabilitating the entire universe. And get this, the universe actually knows it. The texts describe this incredibly beautiful, emotional scene where the elements of creation itself, the clouds, the mists, the shooting stars, the lightning flashes, they eagerly welcome Enoch. The mists literally cry out to him, hastening him along, because his pure measurements are actively healing their corruption. Creation is fervently welcoming its rescuer.
Section 4. Pillars of Punishment.
But you might be wondering, what about the ones who caused this cosmological mess in the first place? Well, in his journey, Enoch comes to the edge of the great earth, which is this immeasurably deep chasm filled with descending pillars of heavenly fire. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that these immeasurable burning pillars aren't just some cool geographical feature. Enoch's angelic guide, Uriel, reveals that these pillars are actually the fallen Watchers themselves. It is a massive theological paradox. The very agents of total chaos are forced to become the stabilizing pillars of creation. Think about it. The fallen watchers, who were guilty of wayward progression, leaving their assigned stations in heaven to go wreak havoc on Earth, they are punished by being utterly deprived of movement. They are locked into the primordial abyss. And by the Creator's will, these former agents of rebellion are now securely holding up the very universe they tried to destroy. It's just the ultimate cosmic irony.
Section 5. The Law of Stars.
So this is where we tie Enoch's whole journey back to time, calendars, and morality. To grasp this, we have to look at cosmological halakha. Now, halakha usually refers to Jewish religious law derived from the Torah, guiding human interactions. But the Enochic tradition introduces a total paradigm shift. Here, the physical measurements of nature, like the precise movement of the stars, serve as strict ethical commandments. Astronomy wasn't just science to these ancient people, it was literally the ultimate moral law.
And the absolute cornerstone of this moral law? The number 364. The angel Uriel reveals to Enoch the true divinely ordained solar calendar, which consists of exactly 364 days. Adhering to this exact number, knowing the precise days the sun and stars pass through their specific heavenly gates, that's not just good timekeeping. It is a matter of absolute righteousness. First, Enoch explicitly states, people err regarding them and do not calculate them in the numbering of the entire year, for they belong in the reckoning of the year and are indeed recorded forever. So, the crucial point is this. Miscalculating the calendar or observing festivals on the wrong days isn't treated as a simple math error. According to this worldview, failing to align with the 364-day calendar leads to confusion with the seasons and harvests and is quite literally a sin against God. You are falling out of rhythm with the divine machinery. Enoch meticulously writes down this strict law of the stars, and it literally dictates everything: the stars' exact places of setting, their specific appointed times, their set months, and the exact gates they enter. In fact, 1 Enoch explicitly states that if a star strays from its appointed gate or fails to rise at its exact prescribed time, that celestial body is guilty of a moral transgression. I mean, no way, right? Even the stars themselves can commit sins if they fail to follow the cosmological halakha. Which leaves us with this lingering, kind of mind-blowing thought. If a literal star can sin just by being late, how does that fundamentally change our modern separation of science and morality? The Enochic texts show us a brilliantly unified worldview, where the physical structure of the universe and the moral laws of the divine are exactly the same thing. To measure the cosmos is to know the mind of God. I really hope this explainer has given you a fascinating new lens to look through the next time you gaze up at the night sky. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.